grateful to be part of this the Mangaluru summit because the, the art form which I am explaining, most of them are not aware because we are trying from the roots to uplift this art form and revive this art form in a way and sustain this art form as well. I'll be happy to share and give a light to a lost art form tradition from basic. If we understand the history and the background of the artwork, then I'll be showing few slides about what we are doing to sustain the craft and how we are, in a way, it's a kind of a successful story I will be sharing with you. And please tell me if I'm boring. And the artists are always, if they start talking, there is no, the time limits. And please mind me with the time schedule as well to keep, yeah, on track. Yeah, to begin with, I just wanted to know how many of you gathered here know about the caveat or heard about the caveat. Please raise your hands, please. Okay, great, great. So that would be wonderful if it reached certain communities, it reached certain people to at least we know caveat. Okay. So I'll be showing few slides that is not even available in the internet or not even available in any sources because we are about to publish a big that's why we asked the summit team to not to share anything before we publish because it's again the rights related things as well. The efforts should be noted as well. So to coming to this, the art form, if whoever has not seen the caveat, this is how it looks on the buildings. This is how it looks on the buildings. And I want to clearly point out one thing at the beginning that this is one of the diverse art form. None of the art form in India have a very diverse, specifically done in the Indian subcontinent. We have this art form in churches, we have this art form in basadis, Jain basadis, we have this art form in temples, we have this art form in the folk deity buildings, we have in art forms in Ashwata kattes, the sitting areas, even the Tulsi kattes, even the colleges, even police stations, like basically it's just a building craft. It's an ornamentation technique of a building that is lost around 7 to 8 decades ago due to the material changes in the structure. So this is basically how it looks on the building. The first example is from Kumta Mahalasa Narayani temple. There still we could see this art form in a very nicely way, and this is one of the unique art form and the style we could see and document in that place. The second one is near Siddhapur, that is a Bilgi. So I have documented around 870 plus sites from around 20-22 years from Kasaragod to south of Maharashtra, in which that is what I used for my PhD study. It's basically just 3 years, but I took 7 years to complete due to, the study, and it's never ending. Still, I'm learning and studying how to, understand more about caveat. So, before go to next slide, this slide is, I just thought, because a lot of students are here, some of them are my students also. So I just wanted to tell a story, because without telling a story, that Indianness will not come. Indians are full of stories. We have stories. Everything comes with a story. So even this, like if somebody asks me, what is a passionate thing about the caveat, how you started caveat, or how you achieved aim, achieved your goal, or successful you are. I'll show this image and tell them. Because if we decide something, if we want to create some, the good foundation or a benchmark, then this kind of things will happen. It's an example where me and my friend, I'm just taking a bike and traveling all these regions from morning 6:30 to evening 6 o'clock while documenting the sites, because none of the books or none of the references are there for the caveat, especially because nobody has the site documentation. So this is one of the site near Korgaon, near Goa, Goa North. where there is a temple called Prayag Madhav temple, in which we are just passing by, just 400 to 500 meter distance, while me and my friend just traveling with the bike, and at the time of 2:30, 3 o'clock, and we are still hungry. We just want to go to our lunch place, and something pops up in mind saying that something is there, you just go and visit. I told my friend that, see, some senses are coming from that side. And there is just paddy fields and one or two old houses we can look from the road. So he said, see, every day you become mad now, complete. Now you have to go to Nimans or some hospital to test you, to check you that you are right or not. So I said, see, anyway, it's already just 10 minutes it takes. We just go and see and come. And we parked the bike near the road, and we just walked through the paddy fields and a little small foresty area, little larger trees are there. And then there is a house and old man sitting on the, their veranda and about to, take a nap. And I always carry images with me to show them, because in mobile they cannot see. And a lot of images if you show, because nobody knows about the art form name. So I show it to them, and he said, I have not seen. And he said, it's there inside. So my friend got shocked. So then we went inside, and this is one of the beautiful example of the door guardians and the border designs, very intricately carved in that temple. That is Prayag Madhav temple, around 200 plus years old. But my whole point about showing you this image is, when we have a faith, when we have a good aim, definitely the things will come to you. So you should not go behind that. So adding this story, I'll just continue. This is another example. There are various, I have more than 1 to 1.5 lakh photographs of images. Each and every art pieces are very different from one, because being an artist, I can understand the design language behind it. So none of them are same. Even when we are creating also, if somebody gives us an order now for the 10 pieces or 50 pieces, we are not doing the same designs. Maybe the sizes are same. We are trying to give more and more the new pattern making. So this is the examples at Say Cathedral. May I ask how many of you visited Old Goa, please? Old Goa. How many of you know the Augustine Tower or Say Cathedral? Say Cathedral? Anybody? Okay. So Say Cathedral have when you just enter to the museum side, the designs been created. One of the best thing with the Goan Kavi art is they achieved one more step further. Because Kavi art is more about a technique orientation. It is not a painting. I always keep saying that it's not a painting. Most of the people will confuse with the style, because most of the Indian art forms, it's just a painting. They think that it's a painting, but it's not a painting. You can touch and feel. Even a blind person can feel. Even for one of my exhibition, one professor came from Manipal University, and he asked me, can I touch and see, because I cannot see the artworks. And then those things, opens up certain things that even that is the uniqueness of this art form. People can touch and feel through the blind people also can experience the artwork. So this is one best example. Even the Gandabherunda on the top being designed. So it's a implementation of Indian forms in the churches. Because Kavi art is mainly used motifs and designs in which the mythological stories and other things been carved. But here we could see Gandabherunda form that is very unique. Even the queen's, the headgear, and several things we could notify the document in the churches. So I'll just quickly go through how it is being made, because most of the people are not aware what is Kavi art. So these are the few examples of how the old structures that is still we could see the first structure still there. I'm a person again and again goes to these places and see what happened with those sites, because I have documented. My duty is not finished. I'm just checking, because it's very sad to say over these 15 years which I have documented around 800 plus sites, in which 75% of the sites been demolished. we are the reason we are not aware of this art form. We are not giving a respect to a heritage building. So that is also matters sometime to keep our traditions alive. So if we start demolishing everything, there is a biggest question. If we start demolishing every structure and build new things, where we are going, we should question ourselves as well. So the second one is not there. It's one of the beautiful example. Even this building had a very nice kavi art. It's the front entrance of a Morjai temple at Morjim at Goa. So this is how it starts. Everybody knows about lime, right? Because the lime, the seashells. Generally, when we talk now that the materials we go to a shop and purchase. But meantime, even in olden days, if we just go just 25 years or 30 years back, there is none of these materials are easily available. You need to prepare, either it is naturally you source from the nature. So this is one of the very main material for creating caviar, that is lime. Due to when we use lime, the life of the artwork will extend. It can stay for more than 5 centuries, 6 centuries. The oldest one I have documented is around 500 plus years old at Banwasi. So there we could see very interesting designs in it. So the one is lime, then obviously the red mud, kavi. Kavi itself is a maroon pigment or red mud. And then silica, the sand we use, and natural gluten materials, jaggery, liana creeper glue, and so on. There are more than 18 ingredients in which I have documented. According to the season, according to the place, it varies. Even the artisan practices will change the method of creating the plaster. So I'll show you using those things. They apply the plaster. I'll show how I started, because none of the artists were alive when I started research, because it's already extinct. Around the last built site which I documented at 1931, that's 2 generations ago. So the art form is lost. So we are just trying to sustain. I'll show you a few images of that as well. So this is the beautiful composition of Surya and Chandra. When you just type caveat, this image generally appears. This is from Kumta. And this image is documented by a well-known writer and a researcher, Dr. Krishnanand Kamath. So without him, even I also will not know about this art form, because he is the one person. He presented a paper in international seminars. He wrote a book at 1993. But with the help of Karnataka Lalit Kala Academy. Due to that, we know about this art form. Otherwise, people will just forget. It's a forgotten craft only. So the few example of this Ganesha, very so the folk and mixture of classical examples. So when we talk about the artworks, we can talk hours and hours, because there are a lot of things to see and understand how the the design making process might have came in the artist's head. So it's another example at Goa. This is in original condition because they don't have money to do the Jeernodhar. So we are the people, so whenever that gets little old, we think that, okay, let's renovate it and demolish the thing and build a new thing. So this lasted for more than 300 years. But the new structure what we create, it will just stand for just the 50 to 75 years, for 1 to 2 generations. But these buildings stood for more than 200 to 300 years. And we could still see the the very interesting features and even the designs who created of it. So also I have created replica of it. I'll show you at the end. This is the other examples of Kavi art in different places. I just wanted to show you quickly. Wanted to show you these images because these are the works. Not the same. All the artworks are not the same. Each artist has created his own style of working, because when we talk about the style creation, most of the artworks in India have a particular style following. It's just a copying certain designs, certain things in it. But in Kavi art, when it comes to mythological stories, there is no styles been copied from one artist to another artist. That's why I need to search for my own style, and some way I succeeded. I'll show you at the end. So the Shivas, the incarnations in different places, that is Kumta and Sirsi Marika. Sirsi Marikamba temple has the biggest gallery of Kavi art, in which every 2 years they are painting on top of it, and some way they are damaging the artworks, because Kavi art doesn't need any protection. As a conservator, it's a naturally it is there from the centuries. It can last for more years without damaging it. So one beautiful example of Saraswati. So most of the people know about Saraswati, but this Saraswati is something very different. When I saw this, I stood for more than an hour to understanding how the composition have created in this Saraswati. Because it's not a still artwork like Ravi Verma's paintings. There is a movement in it. There is a sense of the stillness. It's not just a still. It's a moving figure. So you can see the peacock is dancing, and she is playing the veena in her hand. So few examples of Vishnu from different places. This Hosada and Mavinakurve, it's in a backwater place where you should take a boat and go. And very sad to say, very beautiful works of Hosada been lost around 6 years ago. And there are a lot of stories behind those, the heritage sites, that they are not valuing it. Valuing it means they're not even thinking of saving those things. So we are making certain plans to even remove the murals and keep for the next generation as well. So different examples from different places. Honnavar, Kumta, Bilgi and Hegde. Subjects are same, but style is different, approach is different. The classical touch, folk touch, everything we could see in those images. Some examples of Parashurama. Most of the mythological stories, epic-based stories, either the Devi Bhagavata stories been created. Even the contemporary figures like fisherman, the beautiful lady, even the door guardians, in which we could see the colonial influences of their turbans, the costumes we could document in the Kavi art, because it becomes contemporary when it uses the materials from the happening time. Some examples of Krishna in various places. You could see the paint layer at Sirsi, how it is, the damaging. And most of the detail will go off over a period of the time if certain actions are not taken. So we are about to, conservate the Hegde temple. There are few sites we conservated already. So this is a beautiful example at Sirsi, at Kumta. Basically, when we see an art form, we just see it as a frame. But this art form is not in a frame. If you understand more about this art form, you should see as a whole. You should go back some 50 meters and you should see one panel is there, then a window, then a door, then another window, then another panel. It's a fighting scene between Karna and Arjuna. So if you don't know about the mythological stories, or if you don't know about certain things, you will not understand, you will not experience these art forms as well. This is one of the example from Kundapur. So it is not visible to public. Now we are telling them we are bringing people, and with the heritage walks, we are taking people there and showing these artworks. And now they are also keen on, the cleaning those premises. Otherwise it is just a dump yard. So this is a beautiful Krishna being worked in the Kundapur region at Venkatramana temple. Can anyone guess where is this from? Any idea? Yes, Dikshiji? Yeah, it is in our own Mangalore. It is at Gokarn Mutt at Car Street region. Most of the people are not aware of this art form. The first one is the ceiling, so how it has been created. So the same way we created a ceiling panels, like we could see this POP ceiling, no? Same ceilings are been replaced in a Kavi art for Mangalore airport. I'll show you that image as well, to sustaining effort of Kavi art. The second image is the composition of Krishna's Ras Leela. There are 4 beautiful works being done. It is not just created for people. It is created with the divine concept, because people cannot see, people cannot reach these areas. These areas are very hidden. It is inside the Garbhagriha. Only I am very grateful to document and show it to the public that we have these gems in our region. So, how many of you visited Kollur? Can I ask? Kollur Mukambika temple? Yeah. So, Kollur Mukambika temple, if people goes, definitely they will go through these doors, because these doors will take you to the prasadam area where we can have lunch, bhojanam there. So, this is one of the beautiful example, and over period of the time they painted with different colors, because the single color, what happens with just red and white. So, they just painted in the different colors as well. So this building is there now, but this art form is not there. They removed the structure and they built the same size. But now we did Kavi painted art for them, because to sustaining effort we are also looking in various ways. Also in Q system we did 27 Devi artworks. We worked for more than a year in Kollur. It's one of the very beautiful pilgrimage center where people can have their own experience in this site. So this is what's happening now in certain sites. This is at Sirsi, in which it become a very biggest gallery, become a dump yard. We keep made, because none of the people are aware of this art form. Now slowly the certain reels and this thing coming up, and they're showing interest. But this is the situation. We are all like this only, like Kumbhakarna. So we are all sleeping. We don't know when to wake up. So there is the story in Ramayana, right? So we have to wake up now. So we have to see from our, not only just caveat, for most of the things, we just need to see in a way so that the certain cultural artifacts, certain heritage can be saved for the next generation. So apart from mythological stories, there are a lot of other things in caveat. That is, I documented in one of the PU college in olden days in Bilgi. So, and then the Kolluru, different types of mandalas. The major tool for caveat is just a divider and compass. So, you'll be amused to understand how they have created certain things in just a divider and compass. So, with the sustaining effort, we are going to the government schools, and we are creating a half day or one day workshops in which people can understand, because in schools it is very difficult for them to teach these geometrical tools. Through the art, we are training them, we are teaching them, so that, at least art form also can be sustained and they can learn new tools as well. So this is at Lady of the Mount Church, Goa. Even the altars are also decorated in a way so that the caveat is, when they open up the altar wooden panels, they notice this art behind. Because when the building is constructed, it's just a wet fresco method. We have to create wet to wet method so that it can last for a longer duration. And they created this. Then later, some alterations or Janardhan takes, and they add certain things, and then now they are very aware at Goa. So now they removed all the panels and they opened it for the public. So this is what happens over a period of the time. When this art form is created, we don't have electricity, we don't have any calendars that is printed and coming to your doorsteps. So what they have done is they put a nail, they put certain things, they painted on top of it. Lot of ways that is, damage the artworks. Even in this also, when it is damaged, there is no going back. We have to conserve it only. It takes time and more effort than creating the original artwork, because we have to handle it very carefully. Very sad to say, this also been demolished around 8 years ago. It's in Goa. This is what we do. The slogan is old. Now we don't have this slogan. For 2 kids, it's at Gokarna. The very beautiful artworks are there on the top and bottom, but it is just demolished over a period of the time. And very sadly saying, when we go to sites, we see like this, very beautiful composition. This is one of the interesting place near Gerusoppa, near Honnavara. When I was going, evening, I could, only battery is dying, one photo I could take of that site, in which beautiful artworks are there. Tomorrow morning when I reached at 7:30, they started 6:30 in the morning to removing the building, so that some person will ask and put a stay from the court to not to demolish. So so that is the situation with the caveat in the olden days. Now, through the social media awareness, we are trying hard to push in a way, even this summit also, people like you can educate other people, not only just caveat, other art forms in India, so that is vanishing or already vanished. We can try to, the popularize that art form and build a foundation for those art forms and create certain job opportunities for the younger minds. So this is what we generally do. We paint on top of it, we put plaster on top of it, we write on top of it, and okay. So that is how it works. I'll just quickly go through with the process. Just add me 2-3 minutes. So this is how we started with the block preparation. Then we sketch on top. The lower one is a lime plaster. Then we apply mud plaster. Then we put sketches on top of it. After finishing the sketches, these are the process sketches. This is the final artwork. Then I slept, and next day morning I opened the background to create, the more that positive and negative spaces. So with the sustaining efforts, we are doing training workshops. We are doing a lot of, the activities in art colleges, the colleges, design firms, so that people will be aware and they can use in their projects, and this art form can be sustained and saved for the next generations. With the intact, with even St. Aloysius College, in the other areas, even people are very much interested to learn. Recently, the Ahmedabad Indus University, whole architecture students came to my studio, and they stayed for 10 days and learned caveat. But very sad to say that our own architecture or art colleges are not ready to adopt this understand more about this art form in their curriculum. So these are our government school projects where we call it as Kakaki, Kannada Shalayalli Kavikale Kishora Karyagara. We recently started, and I trained more than 300 plus people, in which around 30 people are regularly working with us to take this to next generation, because these are the young minds. They can take this to next generation. The conservation efforts at Avarsa, it's a long story. Anyway, when you meet personally, we can talk about that. So also we are doing exhibitions in different places. I displayed my work at Rashtrapati Bhavan. One day morning, I got a call from the Rashtrapati President's office saying that you should display in certain event, because it's an extinct craft. We just want to give a platform. And most of the ministers came, and they appreciated the efforts of the sustaining this craft with the block format, what you could see here, because we cannot take the wall to them to show the artwork. So we are trying to sustain in a different method and different ways. Also we are using, because people always ask to come to us and ask, you don't have any other colors. We go to clothes shops, no? You don't have any other choices. You don't have any other colors. So that, we are using blue pigments, yellow, and different colors as well. It's a conservation we recently finished at Marcel. Half-inch thickness of a plaster been applied on top of artwork, and we took 1.5 years to complete this project. So this is a before. This is another project at Panaskande, that is after conservation. So this is at Mangalore Airport. Please do visit if you are traveling to Mangalore Airport. There are 3 Kavi artworks been displayed. Me and my team did this artwork there. This is few of my works with the efforts of sustaining this craft. So this is, anyone traveling to Bombay, just have a look of this artwork that has been displayed in Times of India, the Art of India, in which 40 artworks been selected, art forms been selected and displayed in Bombay Exhibition Center at 21st onwards for a month. So these are smaller pieces like this. Infosys, Robosoft, and RBI of India, they're all supporting us in a way to corporate gifting and other gifting pieces in Kavi art. So we're also trying to make fridge magnets, because people don't have space to put artworks now. They're living in very small spaces. So fridge magnets, that is the one thing we are thought of. Coaster set. Yeah, this is the last site. This site they demolished for a highway widening. There are a lot of reasons. I listed more than 118 reasons which Kavi art been demolished. There are very few reasons are very genuine reasons. Okay, we cannot do anything, but very simple reasons can demolish this the artwork. And saying this at the end, if we don't know our own history, if we don't know our the own grassroots, we cannot create certain history, or we cannot create show something for the future generation, because future is very bad for us. Definitely, when we see the war and a lot of things outside, it is really bad is happening. We are very lucky we lived in the future, the era as well, before 2000, and we in a new Gen Z time as well. So some way we are working on a grassroots, and some way we are trying to sustain a craft. And thanks for this opportunity to present a few words in front of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janardhan Rao Havanje. We will have 10 minutes for questions. If anybody has, we'll try and keep them short to specific questions. Anyone? I mean, I have questions also. What is that noise?
Yes, Samprit sir.
Hi, Janardhan.
Hi.
My question to you is, what is the specific challenge you faced with regard to conservation? This could mostly be with temples, I'm assuming, because most of the temples are the ones that are intact. So what are the specific challenges you faced when you're trying to convince them to keep the traditional art form? Because as we can all see, I think it's really beautiful. I mean, it's something that is so indigenous to this area.
True.
And it reflects the flora and fauna of the region as well. So what are the specific challenges that you face?
Main thing is they do the Jirnodhar and not aware of this art form that is in their building. So we are going there every week, or sometime I call to different trustees, and one trustee says, okay, we'll do something. And sometime the cost, because we need to work a year or so, so we say at least labor cost you pay us. No material cost, nothing, just a labor cost you pay us. Then they say, oh, it is higher, apart from, because everybody wants to make a name. So if they, do the touch-up and do the conservation, I call it touch-up only, conservation, people will come and say, public will come and say, what you created new? It is there on the walls only. No? So that is the mindset of the people. So we cannot change that. So it is there only. If you build a new thing, people say, oh, they built a new thing. So that is the biggest thing, So convince them to, keep the tradition, keep the artwork alive. Because we may get an artwork for a new creation, but conserving those things also a thing. Because I can't guarantee my artworks that is created on the walls that can last for 500 years. Because most of the materials are, the polluted. Most of the materials are, deteriorated. But what they have created and the efforts behind it, it is definitely genuine. And because of that, we could see. And with the climate, the situation, most of the, even the lime plaster today, what we create, we cannot give much time than the earlier people, how much they used to give. So because of our own reasons, maybe we are fed up with a lot of projects, maybe we are busy. But definitely one thing, when they go to them, we request them, sometime 50% we fund from our own sources. Even we have a trust, we have a society. From our end, we fund 50%, then ask them to pay 50. That is the end case. We do like that. Some way those art forms can be saved.
Thank you so much for that question. Does anyone else have questions? Yeah, just 1 minute. Dikshit, we'll get to you.
Oh, this way. No, this way.
Dikshit, over to you.
Thanks, Charlene. Hi, Jana.
Hello.
So my question to you is that we know now that Kavi art is also being, Kavi art is also in the process of being GI tagged, geographically indicator tag, which means it will be on the one side restricted to one geography, where people from that geography will be only able to do that. But on the other hand, they say it will generate more interest in Kavi art. It will also increase the income. It will find international platforms. But we know Kavi art is not restricted to one area, and it spans over different regions. So we know you have been, following that. How do you see this when we have both the sides to this?
See, basically, we are the appliers. We applied for a caveat GI tag because nowadays it is very much needed, because we should mention it as a pride that we have this in our region. But mentioning it doesn't make any sense. We need certain proof, we need certain document, because with all using these documentations and these things, definitely we'll get a GI tag. But GI tag is one thing, it can be given for a whole nation. It's not just restricted to certain place. It's an international recognition. So we have a 3 GI tags in this region. One is for Udupi sari. Definitely people are aware about that. Udupi sari. That is for textile. The second one is for the floriculture. That is Shankarpula Mallige, the jasmine, which has a GI tag. And we have a GI tag for brinjal, that is mattugolla, that is again vegetable. So these 3 GI tags we have. But for the artworks also we can get a GI tag. So we are trying very hard, but only thing is inner politics are there, not international politics. Basically, if we get a GI tag, nothing will change, but in international platform, this will be recognized as a particular areas, because it's not a community art. People keep mentioning that it is just one community's art. No. Most of the people in my documentation, several communities worked. So it doesn't make any sense saying that, because it has a huge history. It started from 12th century, and 8th century means it's the biggest way of going. So we will get definitely the benefit. Maybe this year, hopefully everything gets well. This year only we will hear the good news for the GI tag. Just a dispute with the Goa government and Karnataka government. For our side, they asked me as expert opinion. I said, you should give for the whole Konkan coast. But my future, there is one twist in that. My future research shown me the caveat at Bengal. My future research, like the olden traces of caveat is there at Hyderabad. So olden caveat, another I have documented at Madhya Pradesh. Again questioning, which is, because research is one thing, always we keep open our eyes so that we'll understand more about it. But definitely we'll getting GI tag for this region. Those areas maybe, with the the cultural exchange, it happened over there at olden days. Hyderabad has a 700-year-old caveat, but it's in a different way. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dikshit, for that question. Anyone else for a quick question before we close? Jose?
Can I ask a question?
Of course you can.
So, in zoology, there is in situ and ex situ conservation, okay? So if in a particular place you cannot conserve a particular organism, you conserve it in a different place. So I know about the art forms being traditional and to be limited to that area and all those things. But due to urbanization and rising population, all these parameters, do you think it is, like, what are the possibilities of preserving these art forms by taking them to a different place and like conserving them? Because I remember visiting a heritage museum in Manipal, and there also the places from different places, the Konkan area and the other places, the heritage sections were kept. So do you think it is a possibility we could conserve these art forms in ex situ?
See, there are several ways of conservating with the several methodologies, several ways of conservating it, as I said. So according to my knowledge, right now, when you ask the question, my knowledge, at the least, if they are demolishing, there is no use of talking to them. We had a fight, we had everything. Then at the end, I can ask them, please give us at least 1 month backlog time so that we can remove this mural and take it some way and build. But for that also, they will not allow. What do you do? What do you do with this? We don't want to have that, because it has a certain, they have their own reasons anyway. But that also happened. We are trying hard to at least show this to the public. See, generally photography conservation is one thing. We can take photographs and keep it for next generation. Documentation, we can just trace it, we can take it for next generation. We can remove the mural and our own hand, like we need to give our time for that. we cannot take all, because this Kavi art is, if you just say this building is here, 80% of the building, 60% of the building will be white, 40% will be having Kavi art. So what you will take? Just samples you could take from few spaces. You cannot take a whole thing like how Heritage Village has done.
And I think that that's a really good point to end on, in terms of understanding that, yes, we have our tradition, but also to decide what we value to take forward.
True.
And what is also practically possible. And where we want to put our efforts, right?
True.
So thank you so much, Dr. Havanje. Thank you. I would like to call on stage Alka Manoj to give a small memento of our thanks for sharing with us your immense passion for traditional art and always keeping it alive. Thank you so much.